Howdy ho, you handsome hunk. Grab a snack and gain some chunk. If your day is great or really sunk, we hope to help you shake the funk. So if you're good to hear some junk, buckle up, it's the Junk Monk Podcast. Hello and welcome to the Junk Monk Podcast. I'm your host Kandyce Sloan, who you know from Instagram at Hardens and Hardats.
And I'm Noah, your co-host, who you know from Right Now.
If this is your first time listening, let us fill you in. We are watching and reviewing every episode of the USA hit TV show Monk right here each week.
And we're going to do so while eating a little bit of junk. So me and Kandyce have our junk food here, which actually, I have a giant bag of giant marshmallows.
Yeah.
So I've already started digging in. I'm like 1/4 of the way through a marshmallow.
They're the campfire marshmallows, so they're ginormous. Everyone's always shocked by those.
They're so good.
They are good. And then I have Skinny Pop white cheddar popcorn, which is my favorite, and I like to keep it in my nightstand so I can munch down on it at night.
Really? I was like,
yeah.
I thought you would want these marshmallows.
Oh no, I'm all about the white cheddar.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never tasted it, so you're gonna have to give me a little piece at junk time.
All right, one piece. Also, you must know I've seen every episode of Monk. I'm a huge fan, started watching in 2007, and for the most part watched it as it aired.
I've seen season 1 and those we've done on the show, and a few scattered here and there in different seasons.
So, if you're ready to start the show, Toby, take it away. Here's what happened. All right.
Kandyce, what did happen?
What happened? This is Mr. Monk Joins a Cult, Season 6, Episode 11. So here's what happened. In the opening scene, we see Monk accepting the case of a murdered girl named Amanda Clark. She had been viciously stabbed on a picnic table late night in a park. The man who found her and tried to save her, Tom Donovan, explains that in Amanda's dying breath, she said, "He found me. Father found me." She had apparently escaped from the siblings of the son cult a year prior, and the father is now the prime suspect. When they need an inside man to investigate the cult, Monk is the guy, but unfortunately gets sucked in quick. As the gang tries to save Monk and get him back to normal, he has a breakthrough and puts together the clues he had collected during his stay. He remembers the father having trouble bending over and seeing a syringe in his room, then realizes he couldn't be the killer. He was simply trying to hide the fact he had a doctor visit, which would be detrimental to his image. The real killer had been Tom Donovan all along. He had been cheating on his wife with Amanda Clark and had been caught on a red light camera. He knew his wife would see the ticket mailed to their office, so he stabbed Amanda and tried to help save her to explain why she was photographed in his car. When Monk discovers a bloodless seatbelt that, according to the photo, should be covered in blood, Donovan is done for.
Ooh, I like that little alliteration.
Yes, and that was Mr. Monk Joins a Cult.
So, what did you like about this episode? Besides, of course, that alliteration at the end.
Can we acknowledge that we meditated before we hopped on?
We can.
Yeah, we just happened to. I guess Noah has been getting into meditation, which is really popular, so...
It is? I don't know.
It is.
I just downloaded an app, like, a few days ago, and I've been...
Zenning.
I've been zenning.
Real zen.
Hashtag winning.
Hashtag zenning.
Hashtag zenning.
Junk Monk Zen. And we were, you know, in the closet. We're in the closet today recording for sound purposes, of course. And we were meditating, and then now we're jumping on to talk about Mr. Monk Joins a Cult. And so I was like, oh, no, we're
associating things. All right, maybe I should stop meditating.
It's getting us in.
Okay, so Kandyce, what did you actually like about this episode?
Monk is doing his taxes and rotating the couch cushions. This is at the beginning, right? Mm-hmm. When they're walking down the street, he wants to buy Natalie a beeper. He wants Natalie to buy herself a beeper so he can reach her, right? Side note. But I love the entire scene where Natalie discovers, oh, look, those are the parents of this girl, Amanda Clark. I bet they want to hire you for the case. He's like, oh, gosh. He completely psychs himself out. He's like, they're probably going to cry. They're going to show me pictures when she was a girl. There's going to be a wagon. There's probably a dog in the wagon. There's always a dog in the wagon. And they're going to beg. They're going to offer me all the money that they have. The police can't do anything. You're the only one who can help us. And they're going to cry, and they're going to be weeping, and they're pleading. We'll do anything. We'll do anything. And then they walk up. He's like, okay, fine. You win. I'll take the case.
Yeah, I put Monk figures out an entire conversation before he has it. It's so funny. He's just like walking them, and they're like victims of like a crime. And he's like, "Oh, and they're gonna ask for help."
But was that not the most absolute concise
yeah.
way that could have possibly happened? Because we do see, him get clients that way.
Mm-hmm.
But this was just, oh gosh, the same old sob story.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of self-awareness, kind of.
Very self-aware.
Like, yeah.
See, and to me, that's it. Not exactly, but to me, that's one of those almost fourth wall breaks.
Yeah,
like almost where
yeah.
you're like, Monk's getting another case. Like, okay, let's hurry it up, blah blah blah, and then he does it for you. So it's very funny.
I like how Monk loves beepers instead of cell phones. It's very Monk, considering he's not in it with the cool kids, and he's always behind on technology, and Natalie kind of makes fun of him for it.
You know what a beeper is, right?
Yeah.
Pager. Okay, yeah.
Pager.
Because do people still have them, though?
People don't call them beepers. They call them pagers.
Pagers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Go Natalie. She's stepping up without question.
And then everyone's like, okay, yeah. It's another one of those, like, things. It's like, cutting to the chase. Natalie's like, oh, I'll do it. But that actually ends up being, like, a swerve, a detour. It's like a thing to throw you off. You're like, oh, Natalie's gonna do it. This will be fun.
Yeah, because you were like, no, Natalie, no.
Yeah. Because you're like, no. Because I literally wrote that down. Monk, come on, you should do it yourself. And then I was like, I take it back.
Yeah, no. Has there been any time where Natalie went undercover or anything like that yet?
The pregnant thing. Whenever she went in the...
Yeah, but that wasn't like to investigate a crime. That was to go say something to Monk. I mean, kind of, sort of.
That's part of my dislikes, actually.
Oh, really?
Because I realized something about the show.
Oh, goodness. Okay, never mind then. All right, let's move on. Okay, I put Randy's good at his job? Question mark. Okay, at the beginning, he is incessantly interrupting this Tom Donovan guy, and I thought it was hilarious. Not gonna lie, I did think it was funny, but it does show. I know that he's interrupting him, but it does show. Look, he remembers things. Like he's on top of it. Yeah. Like this guy's a witness. He said this, and like, okay, Randy, we got it. Oh, Randy, we got it. But still, it's like you have to admit that he's doing his job. That I'm filling in the gaps for you. Mm-hmm. Like anything could be important to Monk. Yeah. And you're gonna leave out any part of that story? Like I think not. I think Randy was onto something. I actually have. I'm gonna go ahead and do it. Our viewer's voice for this week.
Oh, sweet.
Okay, this is Viviana from Italy.
Ooh.
Okay, I'm gonna play her message for you. Now she's a little nervous about her English, but I think that she sounds great. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and play it.
I got this.
One of the funniest moments of this episode for me is when Natalie, Randall, the captain, and Dr. Kruger bring Monk out of the cult and bring him in his house, and he stay in his room. They try to stop him to singing all the time. It's the moment of Randall to say to him to stop singing. The camera show Natalie that say, oh no, he's singing again. And the captain say, no, this is not Monk, this is Randall. And then the camera show Monk and Randall that sing together, and Randall hasn't the t-shirt, and the song is ridiculous, and it's funny.
Oh my gosh, she's so right, dude.
Wasn't that so good?
It was such a good scene.
Wasn't that so good? I thought her English was great also,
so
by the
did
way. I thought she sounded great. And yes, that scene is absolutely hilarious. Mm-hmm. And I love how she calls him Randall. That's so cute. But yeah, thank you, Viviana. Thank you so much for your input and your viewer's voice.
Yes, and if you guys want to be on a few weeks from now, not next week's Viewer Voice because we already have that picked out, but a few weeks from now, all you have to do is, see in about 4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah. 4 episodes ahead, probably.
4 episodes ahead. Just DM us, leave us a voicemail.
Maybe the finale,
yeah. Leave us a voicemail, DM us on what your opinions are on that episode, or like something you liked about it, and you would take something on our viewer's voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
It's literally a viewer's voice.
Yeah. Oh, yes, that's so true. Okay, I've got a little study scheme. It's not real. It's not really a scheme, but
Ooh.
I put it as a scheme. Okay, so I got study scheme part 1. Okay, first thing, Monk, you are the most gullible person. It's not just me. Joey Heatherton told me the same thing. I was talking to her yesterday. Joey Heatherton? Joey Heatherton. Did you hear that, Natalie? And then he just looks at Natalie like, exactly. This is why Monk can't go. I absolutely love that.
That's so good. Monk is being filled in on, the crime and what happened to Amanda Clark. And Stottlemyre is like, she was part of the oldest profession ever. And Monk chimes in with a stonemason.
He's confident. He says, stonemason.
Stottlemyre's like, no, prostitution.
He's like, oh, yeah. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. That is so funny. Yeah, that's right. That's right before the first study scheme. Mm-hmm. So study scheme part 2, they kidnap Monk back from the cult.
Uh-huh.
And he's walking out. He's giving him the check for like $30,000. Mm-hmm. And they grab him, throw him in the car. Go, go, go. Yeah. I was, and so I put study scheme part 2.
Yeah. I also put the ranch because that's a joke from like Dr. Phil, right? And he like sends them to the ranch or whatever.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, because there's like this YouTuber I watch. He's the biggest YouTuber. His name is PewDiePie.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And he watches Dr. Phil sometimes.
Uh-huh.
And he like reviews it or whatever. And he's like, guys, everyone be calm. We don't want to be sent to the ranch. He just makes jokes every now and again about being sent to the ranch. It's amazing.
That's funny. I actually like watching those Dr. Phil's videos. I get them on Facebook, like suggested to me, because I watch one and then they're like, you might want to watch this one. And I'm like, you would be right. These people are crazy on there. He's like the new Jerry Springer, but in a helpful, educational way, like, well, how's that working for you? I love it. I love it so much. All right. Study scheme part 3. When it's his turn to go into the room with Monk, and he, boom, like kicks in the door and says, how you doing?
That was amazing. I died laughing because everyone's like being all gentle and like using the different approaches. Stottlemyre bursts through the door. How you doing?
It was so good. Of course, it definitely failed. It didn't work, but that's okay.
It was hilarious, though. Okay, so Monk is having some weird, like, argument thing with this guy, or he's kind of interrogating him, but the guy doesn't want to know that, and he's like, yeah, so what'd you say to the cops? And he's like, pretty much interrogating him, but the guy doesn't really know it. And the guy's like, oh, yeah, no, I was there the whole night, and nothing happened, and I didn't see anything. And Monk, he's like, this is so weird. The cops asked me the exact same questions. It's almost like you're a cop. And Monk's like, what? No. And he's like, oh, freeze. And they're like joking around. He's like, no, don't freeze. Play your guitar.
Yes, the guy who's playing the guitar. Father, please protect me. Father, please correct me. Love it. My new favorite song. But yeah, that's the guy who's playing it. And you're totally right. I love that. It's so cute. He's like, freeze. No, I'm just kidding. No, play guitar. You're good. Okay, what about Randy's interrogation?
Oh, yeah.
He's talking to this guy. And this isn't the singing guy. This is the guy who took Monk into the cult and was showing him around. So they bring him to the outside. And they're in the interrogation room. And Randy is questioning him about the father. And he's like, wait, so he never leaves the farm? He's like, no, he never leaves. What if he has to go to the doctor? The father doesn't get sick. Well, what if he gets hit by a bus? Bet that'd knock his nurturing light out pretty quick. There's no buses on the farm. What if a bus careens? The farm is 7 miles away. What if it careens 7 miles? It can't careen 7 miles. Oh, I've seen vehicles careen a pretty long way.
And then it goes to Stottlemyre and he's face palming.
He's been behind the glass the whole time, watching the whole thing. It is gold. And yes, Randy, I love Randy careening. I've seen vehicles careen a pretty long way.
Okay, so, I love when they're trying to do, oh geez, full circle moment. They're trying to do like their meditation thing or whatever, and Monk is on the stage, and he's like, Monk, come on up here, and he's like, all you have to do is drop the wipe, and you'll be free of all your like quirks
fears
or whatever,
yeah.
fears, your quirks. And Monk is like struggling with it, and he just can't do it. Everyone's like waiting for him, like, is he gonna drop it? And he just can't do it. And I love that.
Wait,
like,
so did you download the app after we watched the show? Like
No.
right after?
Not right after. I was just bored, and I was like, I could use her some meditation.
Oh, okay. I was looking for coincidence.
I want to fix my. Oh, really? I wanted to fix my sleep schedule a little better.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you were like, this cool thing sounds pretty good. We'll talk about that more in dislikes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I love how Dr. K came so prepared. We had Natalie tried, Stottlemyre tried, Randy crashed and burned, and then Dr. Kroger comes in, and his first trick is, Harold was almost recruited by this cult, but you know what? He was smarter than that. And Monk's like, oh, I know what you're trying to do. And then he brings his research, and he has, with this magazine, they did an expose on, this guy, he's worth $20 million, and he has 7 houses. And, Monk, he's just like, you know what? I don't care. The father said that you're a charlatan. Psychiatry was made by the devil. And Kroger, says, I wonder what Trudy would think if she was still here. And then Monk, he just takes it in the gut, and he's just like,
Yeah.
And then Kroger
we were like crying.
Oh, yeah, this was
I got a photo of us.
No,
I took a photo.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, wait, give me a second. Let me find it. It's us, and we're like, our mind is just absolutely blown.
So this is when Dr. Kroger holds up the picture of Trudy, and Monk goes to reach for it.
Yes.
And then Dr. Kroger crumbles it, and you see Monk dying inside. And then he tosses it on the floor. And then he picks up the photo, and he starts unwrinkling it. And then he's just so crushed. And then obviously he puts it all together. But Noah is showing me the screen grab from whenever we were FaceTiming and watching the show. This episode.
We both had our hands over our mouths. Like, just in awe. Just completely in shock.
You'll have to send me that. I'll have to post it on Insta so whenever we release it. But
we're both looking at the camera, so it looks unnatural. But I guess it was just coincidence.
I'm sure we were looking at each other.
Yeah. You were looking at me, and I was like going for the screenshot, so I had to look.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that gave this episode a lot of points for me. So
it broke us down.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Yeah.
It was amazing. Enjoyed it.
So my last thing actually is when Monk totally exposes the father at the end of the episode.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, you know what, Adrian? Thank you so much. You've lifted this burden off of me. And now I will do anything you ask. And Monk says, I want you to tie your shoe. Like, excuse me? I want you to tie your shoe right here in front of all your children. And then Natalie adds, Dr. Wesserman, that's your doctor, right? Maybe a shot of cortisone will help. Mm-hmm. And he can't do it. I mean, it's totally exposed, totally drop the mic moment from Monk. And then it's so good. And then they both walk off like, oh yeah, we did that. Yeah. Oh, we roasted him. And Natalie says, you did good, boss. You did real good. And then Monk's like, wait, Natalie, the check. And she's like, oh yeah, I canceled it. I already called the bank. Oh, okay. You did good, boss. You did real good. So cute. Such a great way to end the episode.
Okay, so my very last this is probably my favorite villain.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, but is he a villain, though?
That's the thing.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, is he a villain? Is he he's not. I mean, he's really not. But at the same time, he is.
He is, yeah.
Because he's manipulating all these people and stuff.
Yeah. Huh. Sneaky.
He's such a good villain, because you're on the edge of the seat, and you're like, he's completely broken down Monk. it's not like where Monk is like, oh, I'm sad I can't get this guy. It's like Monk is just not Monk. He's like hypnotized him or something.
Yeah. That's a good perspective. And I mean, like you said, I would argue that, yes, he is a villain. He's not the villain of the episode, but he is a villain. He's not a good guy. He's a used car salesman, used to be, turned cult leader. And like you said, he's manipulating all these people out of their money. And he wanted, him to prove that he was a part of this cult. And so he drained his bank account. So, which we'll probably get more into that later. But very good point.
Yeah. He's no Dale the Whale, but.
Oh, yeah, but Dale the Whale's not my favorite villain.
I don't know.
He's just
that's
the
what
worst.
I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
He's just the most... Don't get me started on Dale.
Dale
Don't get me
sucks.
started. Okay.
I'm glad we skipped the first 3 seasons because of Dale. He better not come back at the end.
Oh, gosh. I don't know, actually. I really don't know. I don't remember. All right. What did we dislike about this episode?
I only have 2 dislikes.
Really?
Yes. Actually, I have 3.
Okay.
One of them is a question. And I'll ask that question right now.
Okay.
Okay. I know this is kind of weird, but is it that bad to stay in that cult? Everyone was so happy. They felt like they were, doing their eternal promises or whatever. They were happy. Monk was happy. Monk was living his best life. Mm-hmm. So, I get that this guy's kind of scamming them, but he's also, I don't know,
Okay, I put... My first dislike was actually that you called it right off the bat. Whenever Donovan comes up, you said, "Oh, that guy's totally the murderer."
Uh-huh.
And I don't know if you remember saying that.
I don't.
But you did. And because, the guy that Randy's cutting off or whatever.
Yeah.
You were like, "Oh, he's totally the murderer." And then I was like, I think he'll think the cult leader's the murderer later. So I won't, I'll let it go.
Yeah.
And then so there was that. I was like, "Oh, really?" Noah called it right off the bat who the murderer was. But you don't even remember. So it's cool.
Yeah,
okay.
I don't.
So next was also Noah getting convinced by the happy cult? Question mark?
Yeah.
Because they're talking. Like, "Oh, it's a beautiful day in paradise." And you're like, "Oh, but they're so happy." And I'm like, "Noah, no. This is a cult." But I didn't have time to explain while we were watching the episode.
Uh-huh.
But I would just like to say my thoughts now since you asked that lovely question.
Uh-huh.
Is it so bad? Yes. Yes,
Why
it is so bad. Because he's...
Yeah, I get that there's weird things that go inside that cult. But, there should be a thing that's not
That's nudity,
like...
but it's not nudity.
It's like... Oh, Noah. Okay. No, trust me on this. Trust me on this, Candyce. It's like a getaway from society. You have freedom of religion. It's not like you have to believe in the Father or whatever.
Okay, but they do, though.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
It's
yeah.
all the good parts of it. Making everyone happy and, everyone lives with... Because, apparently he's taking money from everyone. So, if that didn't happen, everyone gets an equal pay and everyone does all this and everyone is happy and everyone just gets to sell flowers and...
This is cutting into my junk time question real big, but...
Oh, I should see this for junk time. I don't know why I put it in dislikes. I'm so dumb. I'm sorry.
Okay, we could just move on then, and I'll ask. I mean,
okay,
we can talk about it. Okay, all right. So maybe this will help. Okay, so creepy. I literally wrote down all of the quotes and I put them in air quotes so that you could see how creepy this cult was. And now I'm convincing Noah. So here we go.
Oh,
all right.
No.
Bring the van.
Candace, no, I get the van stuff is creepy.
Okay. We can put order back into your life.
Oh,
okay.
my God.
Most of us don't leave the ranch. Blanket of darkness.
That's not what I'm saying.
Devil rags. She's dead to us. She's been dead to us. I'm going to make you prove it. The Father makes him drain his bank accounts. Praise be he. Mm-hmm. And, of course, the creepy, it's a beautiful day in paradise. Yeah. So those are all the creepy cult content.
Yeah.
Out of 10 creepy cult
But
contents.
just think about it. Everyone was smiling. Everyone was happy.
Okay.
Yeah. Candace. Mm-hmm. You might be like, oh, they're taking people away from... But what I'm saying... Okay, wait. We're supposed to not get into this. I'm sorry.
Okay. We'll move on.
Okay. So, first it's like, why I got so mad. I was just like spamming my keyboard. I was like, why is Natalie going to the Colts? And I'm like, all caps. Like, someone stop this. And then I went, oh.
Oh, don't worry, though. Because my second dislike is, how long has Sarah had her license? No, absolutely not. Come on, Natalie. Come on. I gave you your props. I gave you your props in the like section. Go, Natalie, stepping up, doing the job, even though it doesn't work out.
Terrible Natalie scheme.
What the heck? Oh, yeah.
I don't have a dog. I
don't have any family. Your bag says #1 mom. Oh, yeah. I do have a daughter, but we don't really talk anymore. It's really sad. Ring, ring, ring. Hello? No, now it's not a good time. Wait, how long has Sarah had her license? No, absolutely not.
I died laughing.
Oh my. Come on, Nat. Come on.
Okay, and then my second dislike is... I have to do the whole clapping effect here.
Okay.
We need side character episodes. So like I was saying, Natalie going to the cult. We need Natalie, not necessarily going to a cult, but we need a Natalie episode, we need a Randy episode, we need a Stottlemyre episode. That's what I want to see by the end of this series. It probably doesn't happen, and I won't be too mad if it doesn't happen.
Okay.
But I feel like we need to flesh these characters out a little bit more.
Okay, so what about Visits a Farm? Was that a good Randy episode or not?
No.
No?
No.
Oh,
it was
then
like...
I think you're not gonna like what's gonna happen. I mean, I can't think of anything specifically. That's why I'm saying that. I don't think that, I don't remember, honestly. I don't remember any very centric episodes in the future. So, I'm sorry to spoil that, but...
I just don't understand why they wouldn't do that.
Well, because it's called Monk, but...
Yeah, no, I get that, but at the same time, we've done, like, 5 seasons with Monk, so...
Noah's done with Monk, actually. He's officially quitting the podcast.
I want to do, Natalie. That's it. Or what's her last name?
Tiger.
Oh my gosh, it's Tiger. And instead of red letters, it's blue letters. Imagine... It's about her moving to the city and then finding her crazy boss. Spin-off show?
Oh my gosh.
Spin-off?
All right.
I'd watch it.
We'll do a fanfic episode and we can pitch all of our spin-off ideas. That would be awesome. That actually is exciting.
That sounds fun.
Okay. I also, still talking about Natalie here, actually. And I think this is my last dislike. Natalie doesn't drag Monk away. Whenever he starts to go, she should have been like, nope, Mr. Monk. Yep, nope. He's my family. He has family. Like, we're out of here. Done. Dunzo. And even if not, like, she doesn't even call the captain right away. It doesn't make it seem like she does. Because she goes into the office and she's like, okay, so change of plans. Instead of me going into the cult, Monk is in the cult. And Stottlemyre says, what happened?
Yeah.
And she's like, what? No, really, trust me, he looked fine, he looked okay, he waved like he was okay. Stottlemyre's like, he waved like he was okay. And he waves his hand and he's like, oh golly, come on. So again, come on, Natalie, what happened, girl?
Was that your last one?
That was.
He's the guy. Okay, well, back to the segment where I have nobody. I don't think I have anyone.
How could you possibly have no one?
Oh, I definitely have somebody. I put Howie Mandel. No, I don't know why. I just didn't. At first, I was it was like cringy almost.
Oh, interesting.
Like seeing, because I didn't even know he was an actor. And I thought he was just one of those people who are famous because people were like, oh, they're famous. Like the Kardashians.
It's kind of sort of true, but I think it's kind of sort of true. But you ended up saying he was your favorite villain.
Yeah.
So what happened? Where'd the switch?
I didn't. guess I forgot to update that. But because I see him because I saw him on the thing earlier while we were switching through episodes, and I was like, oh my gosh, that guy looks exactly like Howie Mandel. And then you were like, that is Howie Mandel. I was like.
Well, I didn't really say that. You just were like, wait, is it Howie Mandel?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, maybe. So
and then as soon as I saw him, I had flashbacks. I had PTSD, and I was like, So, yeah.
So then, I mean, did you already explain why he was your favorite villain then?
Yeah, because he was, like, not a villain. He was, like, twisty and turny, and he was also...
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So, what do you know him from? Nothing at all?
America's Got Talent.
Okay. Yeah, America's Got Talent. I actually only know him from Deal or No Deal.
Oh, yeah, I know he does that.
Yeah. So, which I don't think that's on anymore, is it?
I'm not a big Deal or No Deal person, like, at all. I never got it, but recently, I think I understand it now.
So by not getting it, you meant, like, actually you don't get it.
Yeah, I don't understand. Not like I don't, like, understand the appeal. I just don't understand how it's played. They're like briefcases and money.
Okay, I loved this show. I just happen to think that it is rigged, but I guess it's just by chance. I just never saw anyone win the $1 million case or the whatever $500,000 case, but basically
It has to be rigged.
But you understand what it is now.
Yeah.
How it works. They basically
Sure.
It's like they give you an average of what cases you have left, kind of, sort of, give or take. So it's like right now you could win $1 or $500,000, and then the chances of you opening one of those cases is, getting that case knocked off is like 50-50. So they're going to offer you, in order to walk away, they're going to offer you $100,000. And you're like, well, you could walk away with $100,000 right now, or left in your case, you can either take home $1 or $500,000, and then you have to decide, do I want to risk it?
No one ever goes,
or
I'm gonna be safe and take the deal.
They usually do no deal, and then the banker calls, and then they make deals until they dwindle down to like having no money, and like nobody ever won any big amount of money on that show. And so I always just was like, I did enjoy it.
Safe, and it just
Yeah, I did enjoy it, but I just always, just in the back of my mind, just assumed that it was rigged.
I always assumed that money ones are rigged when no one wins. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, like The Biggest Wheel. Have you seen with Dak Shepard that goes around? That show was so
fake.
I argue that every single spin, I'm like, it's so rigged. It's so rigged. And then me and Toby scream at each other. Like, he's like, no, it's not rigged. I'm like, yes, Toby, it is. Why do you have to be so infant? Like, your mind is so small. You don't understand how it's rigged. But anyhow, I could talk about things being rigged all day. It's the cult episode. It's doing this to me. Conspiracy theories,
right?
cults.
Come on.
And
just fakeness in general.
Exactly. So,
Who's your other He's the Guy? Do
okay,
you have anyone?
I actually don't. But I had to ask for help because I only knew him from Deal or No Deal. And I looked up all his other credits and didn't recognize anything.
Not even America's Got Talent?
I guess I didn't see that one because I went to our Munker group and a lot of people contributed. So that was exciting. So thanks, everyone. And so Heidi said that he was from St. Elsewhere. Linda said
Heidi.
Bobby's World.
Heidi,
I guess Bobby's World is a cartoon. So she recognized him from Bobby's World. Nadia said, of course, Deal or No Deal, but added that Howie Mandel actually wouldn't shake hands with his contestants unless he was wearing gloves, or he would give a fist bump because he's a germaphobe.
Yeah.
And so I was like,
oh, yeah, that's why I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
Because he's the germaphobe.
Yeah, and I remembered that after she commented and was like, oh, yeah. And then Denise added that he also wrote a book called Here's the Deal, Don't Touch Me. And then lastly, Luke reminded us that we know that Monk also will do a fist bump.
Yeah.
Because, he's like, oh, no high fives. Fist bump is okay.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, good catch, Luke. Good
cute.
catch. So yeah, that is all I know Howie Mandel from, and that is all He's the Guys that I have. He's the only guy. So
he's the only guy.
Yep.
Junk time.
Okay.
Hey guys, welcome back to my favorite time and yours on the show, where me and Kandyce get to eat junk and answer your questions. So I've already eaten all my marshmallows, and Kandyce already dug into my marshmallows as well.
Okay, well, like I said, these marshmallows, they are
Delicious.
Ginormous, but they're actually really good.
Yeah,
they're very moist on the inside.
Yeah, right?
And they're not, I don't know, sometimes marshmallows suck.
Agreed.
But these are really good.
These
I don't know why.
Good.
Okay, Noah.
I know. No. You're eating that white cheddar popcorn right now.
Oh.
Because you were boasting about it at the beginning of the
Oh,
show.
no, it's
and
really
we
good.
promised everyone.
Oh, it's really good. I mean, half the bag is gone. I just don't want to cut into it too much because, like I said, I like to put it in my nightstand. So.
You promised me one.
Oh, I promised you one. That's what you really cared about.
Yeah, that's not.
Okay.
I care about both. How does it taste, Kandyce?
For Skinny Pop?
Ooh, this is almost some smart food level.
Yeah, that's what exactly right. Usually, it's not this good.
I hate Skinny Pop. It's actually really good.
Well, that's because I've seen your pantry.
Yeah, we have the nasty kind.
Yeah, y'all get those just like lightly salted. I'm like, I need cheese on mine.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, this is good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm proud of you.
Skinny Pop, white cheddar popcorn.
Okay.
All right.
Do what you were gonna do. Do the thing.
So before we get into the nitty gritty of why you should not join the Siblings of the Sun, Noah.
What?
Why don't you tell us what you know about real life cults?
Kandyce. Give me a second to Google something. Well, I'm a child.
Oh, tell me you don't know anything about a cult. Go ahead.
No, usually cults are scary, but...
Not when they trick you into thinking that everything's perfect. Then they're not scary.
Yeah, I know. No. Cults are religious. What I'm saying is that we don't need a religious thing. It's like a safe haven, though. Maybe for people who are rehabilitating.
Wait, but hang on. But Scientology, cult or not?
Yeah, cult.
Okay, but they're not religious. You can worship whoever you want to. Oh, well, I guess you have to worship L. Ron Hubbard, huh?
Yeah. That was the whole thing, because he was like God from like planet Xenon or something.
That's true.
Xenon to the 21st century.
That's just weird because I was reading, I did Google also, and it said like the main difference between a cult and Scientology is that cults
are religious.
Are religious and Scientology
That's their
isn't.
thing, though. That's their quote-unquote thing, that they're like, oh, we let you believe whatever.
Oh, I get what you're saying. Oh, so I was tricked also. Because
but
they
then
don't let you believe it what you want.
But the other thing is that they get away from their taxes because they're a church. But they're not a religion.
Oh, you know what, too, though, is that, like, Leah Remini was Catholic and was in the church. So she did believe in God and was a Scientologist, but also believed all of the things, L. Ron Hubbard and all that. So,
it's
do you want to tell the people what we're talking about in case they're like, what are these people talking about?
Yeah, okay, so Scientology is basically...
Well, the show.
Oh. So, there's a show, and Leah Remini hosts it, and it's called Scientology in the Aftermath. And, basically, if you all know who Leah Remini is, she's from King of Queens, and she was a Scientologist for as long as she could remember. And she tells her story on how she got into Scientology, how she broke out of Scientology, how she's been in Scientology her entire life. She talks to victims. She does all the bases. She covers all the bases and basically completely forewarns all Scientologists. But the thing is, Scientologists aren't allowed to watch things. And also, they've been putting out stuff that is like, guys, Leah Remini's wrong. Mm-hmm. Don't listen to her. So that's the thing. No one can listen to her because it's like, ayo, I hate Amish people, and then posting that on YouTube. Amish people aren't going to see it.
That's very true. That's a good analogy. I like that. Yeah, that's true. And everyone that comes out against the Church of Scientology is called like a suppressive person. And it's different if you've never been in the church before, but if you have been, then you're like a legit suppressive person, and they'll try to come after you and all that stuff. So, with that being said, we've never been in the Church of Scientology.
Yeah.
We have no opinions, neither here nor there. We're just telling you what Miss Leah Remini has said on her show, and we're describing to you. So we're not going after the church. Just as
no. We definitely Scientology. No, I'm not going to say that either.
No.
We definitely respect Scientologists. Tom Cruise is my favorite actor.
Is he actually your favorite actor?
He was before I watched Scientology.
I'm not cutting that out.
What's the What's the probability of David Miscavige watching our podcast right now?
Oh my goodness. Oh, this is already going off the rails.
We're gonna be taking some auditing tonight.
Have to be audited and everything. It's gonna be bad. Okay. But seriously, if you're into this, because I know this is obviously different than Monk. It is very dark. It is very, they get nitty gritty personal stories. It's very tragic. But if you are interested in actually the real life cult stuff, it's a very good show to watch. It's not on anymore, but it was on A&E, and they have, I think, 3 or 4 seasons, and she's very good at what she does, and so is Mike Render, and he was in the church as well. And yeah, we watched every episode. We finished it.
It was like a tradition whenever me and Kandyce hang out.
We would cook Magnolia recipes and then watch Leah Remini. Oh, that was so fun. The days.
Then we got into Monk.
Which is fun too.
Yeah, it is fun.
That's fun.
Look at us.
And we get to be happy. And
New traditions.
New traditions. That's very true. But I will say that it was very spot on. I thought that their depiction of the cult, they had tons of lawyers. They love suing cops. They had the father.
And they also had the personality quiz thing.
The personality test.
Which we learned from Scientology in the Aftermath.
Yeah.
Where they get you in, they're like, oh, free personality test. And then they start, like, locking you in the doors and, like, hey, yo, wanna be a Scientologist?
They sound just like that.
Like, hey, just sign here real quick and to do the test.
A $1 billion contract.
A $1 billion contract, yeah, because reincarnation.
And excommunication.
Oh, yes.
Whenever they had to kidnap Monk to get him out of the cult.
Oh, yeah.
That was a, like, very reoccurring thing. Like, I had to stow away in a trunk and, like, all this stuff. Crazy, crazy stuff. And then, of course, draining the bank account. That's, like, the biggest thing, is the money. That's what Leah Remini would give, millions of dollars to the church and stuff. So,
pretty much,
again, very interesting. And is there anything else you would like to say about the cults?
Is that the end of the junk time?
I do have one more thing, but I don't know.
I thought we were going to talk about why it's good or bad to be in a cult, but we just ended up talking about Scientology. And a bunch of
in all honesty, I wanted to refresh your memory as to how bad it was.
Yeah, so, no, that's what I'm saying, Kandyce.
Okay, you're saying not their cult, but like their cult.
No!
Okay.
Kandyce,
I'll hear your case starting now.
Okay. Listen to me. So basically...
Don't you brainwash me.
It's like a place, and it's fun. Everyone likes it. You get to sing songs, or you get to be by yourself, or you get to do it. You get to do whatever you want, but you just gotta stay in the perimeter. It's for Kandyce.
I'm sorry. I'm not laughing. Go ahead. Keep going.
It's for rehabilitation. People who are like, oh, I could be sent to prison, but it's not like that bad of a crime. And it's like to learn your mistakes. And you go there and you become a better person and you grow and you get to practice your religion. It doesn't matter if you're an atheist, you're a Catholic, they probably shouldn't allow Scientologists in there since, I don't know, maybe. You know what? Let the Scientologists in there. But yeah, and then you just sit there and not sit there. You like go to like group like speeches and they have like talkers. They have group speakers and they're like motivate you and they meditate, but it's not like creepy like, oh, everyone drain your bank account. It's like fun things to like help you become a better person in general, and also help you make money as well. You know, it's like get like the flower thing.
Okay, so this is for people who are prisoners or rehabilitation, or this is for normal people?
This is for... Okay, here's the thing. You can make it for rehabilitation.
I could be on board with the rehabilitation or the...
But there's two sides of it. Like, you can make it like for fun, like vacation, like all your worries are gone. You pay for all your stuff with the flower thing, and then boom. It's just a way for people to relieve stress, or maybe it's like funded by the government to make people like happy with their lives or whatever. But yeah, it's either rehab or just like a fun vacation thing. Thank you.
Okay. I'm not mad at the, like, for prisoners. Like, if prisoners are already being held prisoner, that there would be some type of like ranch like that that's instead of prison going to something like this. But again, there can't be a father. There can't be anyone that everyone has to obey or look up to or anything. And I think that what they were going for in the theme of this episode is that those people seemed happy, but they're still people and they still have issues. There's no such thing as a place where you can just go and all of your worries disappear.
Yeah.
People still have their baggage. And that's why, that's why they prey on people who are lonely or by themselves, because they take those people who are the most vulnerable, who don't have any ties to anyone, they take them and then they brainwash them into thinking what they believe in or what they want them to think. And then, yes, they can obviously make them, oh, there's nothing to worry about. But that was the point, is that the father still had back pain. But he wasn't allowed to say he had back pain. He had to fake like he didn't have back pain.
Yeah.
And that's part of the issue, is that you're not just going to go there and magically not have back pain. You're still a person. And then the same thing with Monk. You can go there and you can act like you're over all of these phobias. You can act like you don't still hurt from Trudy, but you do. You still have the phobias. And you're still you. And it was just a break for him to say, I'm so tired of thinking, which, okay, that's a vacation. But eventually, and I'll get this in, I have a plot hole about this, but you're still you.
Yeah.
And I think that everyone, like, say you go into Sandals, Jamaica, everyone still goes in their own private ways. Everyone wants to be by themselves. They don't want to commune with people. They want to do their own thing, do their own vacation. So just have this a community full of strangers is just kind of a little far-fetched.
But what they're doing is trying to make you not have the baggage. Like, you're going to group things, you're being a part of a community, you're meeting friends, you're building relationships, you are, but
that's also kind of what church is for people who go to church.
Yeah, but a lot of people aren't church people.
I know, but that's kind of we're getting a little political. But
yeah, I know, we are.
We're getting a little political.
We're getting way too deep over this.
We are. But I think we've said both of our points. That you think there should be there could be a community, and I'm saying that I think there's more realism that comes into play when you try to do those kinds of things.
Yeah.
When the people are brainwashed into thinking that they don't have problems, that becomes the problem in itself. Because they're saying, look, you don't have problems, and the reason you don't have problems is because you believe in what we believe, and now give us your money.
Yeah.
Because you're so happy to. And that's where the brainwashing comes in. So, yeah. But again, if someone's not trying to manipulate and brainwash you, then sure, utopia sounds great.
Yeah. Just a getaway.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Maybe
let's do it.
Just
forget it.
Hotel Utopia.
Throw it all out the window. We're going to the cult. Plot holes.
Okay. Goodness, I have plot holes today.
Nice.
I have 2, actually. 2 whole plot holes.
Okay, I'll go first since you only have 2, though.
Okay.
I have more. Okay, so my first one is, why did Monk even go up to the table with Natalie in the first place? If Natalie was going to the cult by herself and she was trying to prove that she was lonely and had no family, why would Monk even go up there with her?
Ooh, that's good. That's a good one.
They shouldn't have done that. I mean, yeah, she came up with her own, silly lies that didn't make sense, but that Monk was messing it up for her, I think.
Yeah. Whenever they're trying to fix Monk or whatever, they don't send Monk's therapist first. That didn't occur to them that he's literally, trained to do that.
You mean because everybody else was going first before him?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's true.
Everyone's, doing their wacky thing, Natalie's too caring, and, Randy's crazy, and Stottlemeyer's too mean.
Yeah.
And then he goes in there and he, just finesses Monk. And is
yeah.
Trudy wouldn't like that. And he's like, it's yeah, that's what you had to say. Send in the therapist.
Yeah. That's true. I like that one. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was what is happening? Why are they doing this? Because he's reading the paper or something. Eating a sandwich. And I was well, he's screaming.
Maybe he just wanted to show, which I do credit the writers. They wanted to show, you know what, Dr. Kroger does do stuff.
Yeah.
Because, a lot of people say, he goes to the same guy, he doesn't do anything. Right there, boom, drop the mic, Dr. Kroger.
Yeah.
Nice.
That was a nice moment,
yeah. Okay, wouldn't they be suspicious of Monk if Natalie was trying to get in their cult?
So that's what I'm saying. Yeah, no, I just thought of that too.
Right?
They're, like, next to each other, and they're, like, talking. And she's like, hey, can I get in their cult? And they're like, you're kind of suspicious. And then Monk's like, can I get in the cult?
And they're like, sure. Right?
You're
Okay.
obviously lying to us. But your friend right there, probably telling the truth.
Then, how are they not suspicious of Monk whenever he goes in and keeps asking questions? And then one of the kids even says, you sound like a cop. And they're still not suspicious that he's a cop?
I know, right?
Which,
Just
I mean,
for, like, a
obviously
few
the
weeks.
father does come in the end and say, like, oh, I know who Captain Stottlemyre is. Tell him to, you know, get you out of here or whatever. But from the first second, those people shouldn't have let him in because of Natalie. And then 2 seconds after he's in there, he's
Yeah.
talking like a cop.
Yeah.
And wandering around and looking for clues by himself. So, yeah.
Okay, so the girl died in the car, right? And it's such a background thing that doesn't matter, but the girl dies in the car, and they're like, oh yeah, we're just going to reupholster the car. She died. There's evidence? She died in there. Or her blood was everywhere, anyways.
Oh,
And why wouldn't they just buy a new car?
okay, well, yeah. I mean, I guess I understand the fact that it's like it's a company car and the company doesn't care, like, just
Who's in it?
reupholster it. Who cares? Like, get it. But yeah, I think the evidence thing is strong. Like, they made it seem like they took it from her being hurt. I guess
Yeah.
maybe just because his story, like, they weren't suspecting him at all. Like, they were just like, oh yeah, she was dying and I, you know, took her in my car. Like, if you tried to help somebody who was dying on the side of the road, would you be like a little peeved if they like took your car for evidence and held it for who knows how long?
Yeah.
Maybe, you know, I don't know. Because they believed him, I guess. That's why. But that's not a bad one.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the plot hole I was mentioning in Junk Time. So Monk is free, right? I'm free. But then he gives daisies out that have exactly 10 petals.
Yeah.
Nope, not cured. Not free. If you were free, you wouldn't care how many petals are on the flowers.
Yeah, that's what they're trying to show, Candace.
No, I know, but that's what I'm trying to show you. That he thinks he's free. It's this. He's
no.
false. He falsely
But
thinks that he's free.
Yeah, but at least he thinks that. I mean,
I guess you have a point there.
like, instead of being like, okay, I'm a crippled person because I can't do anything without, you know, hating myself.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, I'm free. But I'm still doing these weird things. But,
Yeah.
hey, I'm not noticing it anymore.
Yeah. That's true. There. Small point. Okay. All right. We're killing people over red light cam photos. I know that's like the whole premise of the episode, but he couldn't have pulled like a Hal and just like hung around his wife's office until the mail came.
Yeah.
He murdered the girl instead to explain her in the picture. I don't know. I feel like you could have even come up with a better excuse before, like, oh, I stabbed her and that's why she's in my car. It's not like you had to explain a bloody car. All you just had to explain is why the girl was in your car. And then again, just beat your wife to the punch and get the ticket out of the mail. Right? Am I thinking? I mean, again, I know it's the premise of the show, but it was a good clue, but I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
And then my last one is the father thanks Adrian at the end, right? He's like, oh my gosh, you've answered all my prayers and this burden has been lifted off my shoulders. But wait, I thought he was the father. Does he not answer prayers? Like, why would, like I mean, he said, you answered my prayers.
It's like a Jesus kind of thing.
Like,
That's what he's trying to go for.
We're talking about someone who says, I am the father and no one is above me. And then, but he also prays, you answered my prayers.
No, but remember that kid is like, he talks to God all the time.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
So
I've been...
Oh, I already changed it.
Oh, I've been
debunked.
Oh, we tried.
We did try.
Okay. All right. Well, that was my last one then.
Okay.
Forget it.
How crazy was Monk this episode? Plus crazy moments.
All right. So out of 10, what?
Okay. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Out of 10 little lights of mine.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm not going to lie, I have some very obscure ones.
Okay.
I dug deep, but I think I'm going to go with out of 10 daisy petals.
That's
Because there were 10 petals.
That's good.
Okay, do you want to hear my runners up?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. They're dumb.
Honorable mention.
Out of 10, dogs in a wagon. There's always dogs in a wagon. And then out of 10, bowls of beets. Because, he's just sitting there by himself. Me and my beets.
Me and my beets.
I dug real deep
That
on
one
those.
is obscure.
Okay, so I did go with out of 10 daisy petals. So
That one's the best, I think.
all right, so
Good
let's do
call.
some crazy moments. Okay, first is Monk will be doing his taxes and rotating his cushions.
He wants to get Natalie a beeper and have her pay for it.
Yeah, and then of course just me and my beets.
Bummer City. That's so Bummer City.
Yeah, Bummer City. That's a good one. He lists all of his fears, and then he asks him, "Are you afraid of charcoal?" Like, yes.
World's oldest profession, stonemason.
Monk's worried about himself when Natalie goes undercover. It's like, "Are you going to be okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'll be fine." Wait a second. You have a point. Do you have food and water?
That's kind of like the egg thing. Whenever Natalie got hit by the egg,
Oh yeah.
and he's worried about himself.
Yeah.
Okay, so Monk is trying to sell Natalie to these guys, and he's doing some great acting, and they're like, "Oh, take this pamphlet," and Monk's like, "Oh my gosh, she loves pamphlets." Okay, and then they're like, "Have you been feeling lonely or disconnected?" And Monk's just like, "Oh my gosh, we were just talking about how she feels disconnected."
Oh my gosh. And then, of course, at the end, he reveals, people really don't like being stopped at the airport.
Oh, yeah. Freeze. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not a cop.
That's true. And then the last one I have is whenever the father walks up to him and he has groceries, it's like, "Can I talk to you?" He's like, "Oh, I have some sherbet. It's going to melt."
Okay. The last one I have is he goes into like the father confronts him and he's like, "I know your secret, or is there something you need to tell me?" And he goes, "Sister Gina has a radio."
Sister Gina has a radio. That's not what I was talking about, but okay. Oh my gosh. All right. So out of 10, what was your skin?
Little Lights of Mine.
Out of 10 little lights of mine.
Little mine, let it shine.
Let it shine.
Okay, I have a 3 out of 10.
Oh my Lanta.
What is yours, like
Why?
9? It wasn't like oh, Monk was normal this episode. It was like, I just knew. It gave me 3 vibes, Candace. Trust the vibes.
Because you trusted the cult. And you were like, "Oh, the cult's not that bad." I could see being brainwashed
Shut
by
up,
that.
Candace.
Okay, I put out of 10 daisy petals. I gave him 8 whole petals.
8?
Yeah. Okay, for 1, for wanting to go. And for 2, thinking that he wouldn't be brainwashed.
Uh-huh.
I'm not even giving him points for being brainwashed. Just the fact that he wanted to go and didn't think he'd be brainwashed. And he's Monk.
Yeah.
The world's greatest detective. Like, "No, I'm fine. 5 seconds later. Speaking of, I give Randy an honorable mention for being brainwashed even faster than Monk.
Yes.
So out of 10 Siblings of the Sun pamphlets, I gave him all 10. All 10 pamphlets. He really loves the pamphlets.
He really does. Rate this episode. Candace, what would you rate this episode?
All right, guys. Another very strong episode for season 6.
Agreed.
Howie Mandel was the perfect cult leader. He really sold it. Monk was the perfect patsy. Also, very accurate cult description.
Mm-hmm.
I love the bad back clue. I love that.
Yes.
When he goes to lean down, that's very... I mean, you saw it, but still,
and
how does that tie into the case?
I went...
But we didn't... I mean, you didn't know what that meant, right?
Yeah, because you see Monk and he's like,
Because, I mean, you get the clue that, oh, he's not supposed to be sick.
Yeah.
But how does that tie into it? Because he didn't want to go to the doctor, and the doctor and everything. Great. That was a great clue.
Great clue.
Also, great comedy in this one.
Mm-hmm.
We laughed once again. Very, very solid episode. So I gave this one a 10.9.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, this episode is such a classic and it is so good. It is such a must-watch for newbies. It's up there with, Astronaut Jury Duty, and I'd say Mr. Monk Stays Up All Night. I like Stays Up All Night maybe a little better, but this is definitely better for newer people to get into the show, and I definitely recommend it if you haven't watched it in a while. I'm giving it a 9 out of 10.
All right. I do agree with that, I have to say.
Since we both
very good.
did, 1 out of 10.
Okay, also, we made a boo-boo. So, if you remember a couple weeks ago, you might not have noticed.
Wait, what?
We might be saying this for no reason. But this is episode 11. So, on episode 8, you did not rate an episode.
Oh,
You did not rate Mr. Monk and the Wrong Man.
I didn't.
We did discuss it, and I did insert it on the video of Mr. Monk and the Wrong Man.
But you can't, yeah.
But did you want to tell the people what you ended up rating that one?
Oh, I will. I'm pretty sure it was an 8 out of 10.
Okay, you told me 8.4, which I was like, what is that? When did we give 8.4s? Was that an accident or something?
Wait, why did I give it an 8? What do you mean, like it's so exact?
Yeah, I mean, that's what you sent me, 8.4. That's what I put on the video because it said 8.4. Yeah. I'm not sure what that was about.
8.4.
Maybe you should check your notes because that's legit what you sent me.
Yeah, no, there was a picture of my notes.
So no theories of why you put a 0.4 behind that?
No, I have no idea.
All right, then.
Fine, we'll round it up to 5.5. Gosh. 8.5. Wow. Happy, Kandyce?
No, I was just, I didn't write.
You little punk. Oh,
you said my rating scale was weird.
I didn't even care. I was just asking. I'm tired. I'm going to do my meditations and I'm going to go to sleep. Are you excited to sleep, Kandyce? Because I know I am.
I am tired. It's 1 o'clock, so.
Get on your day. Oh my gosh, it is 1 o'clock. In the afternoon.
In the morning. Just to be clear. That's why we're tired.
That is why we're tired. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Me and Kandyce had a lot of fun. Great episode.
It was very fun.
Overall.
Please don't join a cult.
Please don't. Wait a few years. Wait till I'm like 27. I'll have a cult by then.
Oh, I feel like I failed Noah. This is going to be his defining life moment. You know what? Actually, I was watching an episode of Monk, and I thought, hey, I could do that. And so I started this cult.
So what's up, guys?
Welcome.
I'm the father.
Call me father. Call me Father Noah. Wow. All right.
It was fun.
We're Dunsky Bunsky.
We're so Dunskies. Those are some good marshmallows, let me say.
They are. I know, I'm still eating them.
These are some of our top stuff.
I know. We're giving you guys the good.
You just need marshmallows.
Oh, also,
Skinny
so we said Skinny Pop, right? These ones are, I'm sure I got them from Walmart, but
just
do they
jumbo
have a brand?
giant.
There's no brand on
It
here.
doesn't even say that there's marshmallows. It says giant roasters.
It does. Great for s'mores. Great for giant s'mores, excuse me.
It's called Campfire. That's
They're
the
gluten-free, fat-free. What?
The brand.
They're fat-free?
Kandyce, give me one more. They're called Campfires.
How are those fat-free? Anyways.
They're really good.
They're so good. All right, guys. We really will let you go now. Go about your day.
Yes.
Whatever you're doing.
Go off your night.
You do you.
You do you. Join my cult. Love yourself. Goodbye. Good morning.
It's a beautiful day in paradise.
Thank you.
Hey guys, thanks for listening to the Junk Monk Podcast. We'd love to hear from you, so please give us a 5-star review wherever you listen to podcasts. Also, follow us at Junk Monk Podcast on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube.
If you want to know more about Kandyce, she's at Hardens and Hardhats on Instagram. And if you want to know more about me, Noah L., subscribe to my vlog, Noah Hernandez, on YouTube. Also, you can leave us a voicemail at 323-366-0477 with your questions, comments, or just to show us some love.
Don't forget to catch up on Monk with Amazon Prime Video, and of course, subscribe to our show.
You'll thank me later.